What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Live Writer Podcast. It's been a while, 2 months to be exact, since my last podcast. Nevertheless, I'm back to bring you yet another Live Writer episode. Tonight, I'm going to introduce Rebecca Breeze, the main character who made her debut in the self-titled novel, Rebecca. Although I launched a blog called Character Portrait last year, giving the backstories of the characters who appear. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Live Writer Podcast. It's been a while, 2 months to be exact, since my last podcast. Nevertheless, I'm back to bring you yet another Live Writer episode. Tonight, I'm going to introduce Rebecca Breeze, the main character who made her debut in the self-titled novel, Rebecca. Although I launched a blog called Character Portrait last year, giving the backstories of the characters who appear in my novels, today's topic is inspired by writer Sean James's approach to his recent live streams when he introduces the characters and what inspired him to write their stories to his audience. In 2018, I wrote my third novel entitled Rebecca. It's a story similar to my first book, Tailor Made, in that it covers a young lady coming of age. The only difference is Ebony Taylor, the main character of Tailor Made, is about a young woman transitioning from late teen to early adulthood, and the story of Rebecca is mostly told during her 9th grade year. The concept to write Rebecca came to me in 2015. Originally, it was going to be a screenplay before I decided to turn it into a novel. Quick side note. I was in the process of working on my second novel, Execution of Priscilla, during the conception of Rebecca. In case some might be wondering what took me so long between 2015 and 2018 to write Rebecca. This book talks about real issues and things pertaining to everyday life with the youth. Dealing with such situations such as peer pressure, making new friends, family life, etc. I consider Rebecca an inside look into the mind and life of the average teenager. Obviously, I'm not a girl or a woman, but I was once that age and have witnessed how most girls interact at that age. As I've mentioned before, my books tend to be reality-based fiction, so there are topics Rebecca and her friends discuss, and even a situation where that one of them encountered that might not sit well with some readers. However, being that it is reality-based fiction, these situations do occur in real life, so not writing about it isn't going to change that, whether it be myself or any other writer. I will say in advance that it's not anything X-rated, but I know how prudish some readers can be. Some things they talk about in some portions of the book are things that most young men and women discuss, but it's usually among themselves when no adults, or at least when they think no adults are around. Again, I was once that age, and there are parents out there under this delusion, or at least naivety, that their child or children aren't talking or thinking about certain subjects. Of course, it's not every child, but let's face it, it's the average of them. And some of these topics are covered in this book. What inspired me to write, well, one of the things that inspired me to write this book is one of the same inspirations I have for Tailor Made, to present content that promotes positive, quote unquote, black characters. Yes, Rebecca has her issues like everyone else, those in her peer group particularly, but she's a very smart, sensible young lady who's also known to be a little overbearing sometimes. But all in all, I think she's a great character that many will come to love and definitely relate to. A couple of reviews from Amazon about this particular book reads, the first review reads, "Reading this book, I was sure this was not fiction. The storylines were very realistic, and having daughters in Rebecca's age group definitely brought it close to home. Very good read, would highly recommend." Another review says, "I have to get my bearings when I put the book down as if I had been in another world. The characters and plot are so superb you become absorbed in every page. Highest level of regard to the author and his amazing talent." To get your copy of excuse me, to get your copy of Rebecca, visit Amazon.com, Smashwords.com, Barnes and Noble, or Kobo. It's available in ebook and paperback. Also, a quick heads up, I want to mention that I am considering a cover art change for this book in the future. Not sure just yet. I'm just kind of pondering over the idea. And with that, I thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode. If you like what you've heard today and would like to see more of my work, take the time to check out my blog pages. The first being the Literature Lounge, which is edwardauthor.blogspot.com. My Indiana Pacers page, pacersfever.blogspot.com. My Creative Visual Arts page by Tini Arts, that's BATINIARTS, by tiniarts.blogspot.com. And finally, the one I mentioned earlier, Character Portrait, which is novelprofiles.blogspot.com. My books are available in ebook and paperback, with the exception of the book Maine, which is available only in ebook on Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble, Kobo, Books A Million, and Smashwords as well. The Live Writer Podcast can be heard on several platforms, including right here on Anchor, as well as Spotify, with whom Anchor has recently merged, and Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and Radio Republic. You have just listened to the Live Writer Podcast. I'm writer and novelist Edward Anthony, and I will see you on the next one.